Would you like to know the other things that Workampers do? Hi, I'm Steve Turtle and I'm a work camper. This channel's about Jill and me, our adventures, our travels, and a whole lot of work camper stuff. If you're a work camper or you're dreaming to become a work camper, you should subscribe. And ring that bell. If you ring the bell, you'll get a notification every time I post a new story. You don't want to miss one. Last week we were talking about young full-time RVers. I needed a little help with my driving. I explained why horses are not dumb, and I gave you a sneak preview of our new camper. Now if you missed last week's story and you'd like to see it, I'll leave a link right up there. This week we're talking about the other things that work campers do. I'm struggling with CenterPulled paper towels. My Genie's back and I'm a rustling again. Have you ever had to replace CenterPulled towels in a restroom? It's really a simple thing. Look at this, the CenterPulled towels. You got to pull out this cardboard core. It's perforated, but sometimes it's not perforated. And it just tears out in pieces and you get that. And you got to dig out a key and a knife and all the other things and try to tear off these paper towels. Does it only happen to me? Just rip it out. Oh, Steve has it really rough. So this is what I end up with. It come out in pieces, just one piece at a time. They didn't score it right or something. I don't know. Look at it, it's overlapped. If you've ever had this happen to you, leave me a comment. Tell me your story. Okay, how about this? Have you ever been using a leaf blower to clean out an area? Then decided you'd make a flying carpet? Why, that's just silly. Okay, let's talk a little bit about work camping. This week, I'm going to talk about the things that are going on here at Millbridge Village Camp Resort. The other things that I do as a work camper. Work camping is a lot of different things, a lot of different kind of jobs. Jill and I, we like to work at campgrounds. We enjoy the people, the work, and the atmosphere. But there are other types of work camper jobs too. You can work camp at Dollywood, like Jerry and Mary of Outdoor Staycations. Or you could work at a state park, like Rob and Marie of Opa and Oma's Adventures. Even Adventureland, like Dean and Shalane of Grassroots Living. There are all sorts of work camping opportunities out there. You just have to find a good fit for you. Anyway, this is my typical weekly work camper routine. Monday and Tuesdays, my lawn care work days. Wednesday and Thursdays, my day off. Friday and Saturday, it's all about taking care of the campers. Make sure they get into their sites and settled in for the weekend. Sunday's the cleanup day, after all the guests have departed. Not departed like gone to heaven. You know, left for the week. Gone back to the weekly grind. Get up, go to work, come home, go to sleep, and do it all over again. Anyway, that's pretty much my typical routine that I do every week. Occasionally, I have little jobs that pop up, like air up a tire, cut a board, check the mail, dodge the cars, almost got run over, fix a fence, dig a hole. Camper pushed this pedestal over about a week ago. We thought we were okay. We pushed it back up straight, tamped it down, and thought everything was okay. But somehow it pulled a water line loose. So we're digging today to find this leak, replace a little pipe, or see what's wrong. So today we dig in a hole. Oh, we got her all dug out, got her patched up, and filled the hole back in. Now we'll let it dry out, rake it, sow some seed on it, and it'll be all good as new. Another job complete. And clean out those fire pits. Which brings to mind, fire pits are not trash cans. Oh, and electrical repairs. I'm down at the mill, I gotta hook up a timer. We have 2 lights out around the mill. One's lighting up the water wheel and one lights up the front of the building. But right now we just use a switch, turn them on, turn them off as we close the mill and open the mill. we're going to put a timer on them so they can do that themselves, and we don't have to do it. So I'm going to work on a little bit of electric, put this timer in. You want to help? I even work when I'm off. Doing a little work up in Phoenixville for a good friend. Doing a little sanding, can you tell? And Jill works too.
What time did you think you might come in tomorrow?
And sometimes we have projects. Like we have a creek project going on right now. The county has been doing a little work here at Millbridge Village Camp Resort, trying to clean up the waterway, the creek next to the campground. So they've sort of sloped the terrain so it goes into the creek, and they planted some vegetation. They've been working on it for about 3 weeks, and it's pretty much coming to an end. So if you can see behind me, there you go, the creek and the bank. They planted some wild grasses that are going to grow in there. It's going to look pretty nice when it's finished. And then they worked on the pond. So we're working on the pond. We get that all set up, get it ready. We're going to fill it full of water, and we'll get the water wheel going. So I think that's going to be really cool. But it probably won't be cool until next year when the grass comes in and it starts to look really good. But I'm pretty sure we'll be back next year at this same campground. Sort of a sneak preview, if you will. Anyway, just thought I'd fill you in on what's going on here at Millbridge Village Camp Resort. This was the creek bank before. Now after. This was our pond before. Now after. And if I'm sneaky enough, I can get my boss to do a little work. It's not all work. We like to have fun too, like painting rocks. Jill had a bucket of rocks. We had 2 children down there, and they painted up some rocks. I joined right in there. I painted up a couple rocks because I'm sort of like a big kid anyway. Ta-da! We had rock painting, and there were only 2 children here other than me. And I painted my rocks, and they painted their rocks. Now we're done, and we're going to go hide our rocks, and hopefully somebody will find them and think it's a treasure and feel like it's worth lots of money or something. I don't know. I don't know what you do with painted rocks. You don't carry them around in the camper. They're too heavy. Then we had a hayride. That was for the children as well, but a lot of adults go. I think mostly just to keep the kids from jumping out of the cart. And then we had bingo. How many people would you have, Jill? Had about a dozen or 14 participants in bingo, and we had bingo and gave away a lot of money, and we had a good time. Jill cheats a little bit, but nobody can catch her.
Yes, you got it.
So I think cows are dumb. Here I am rustling cows again. This time it's the old milk cow. She slipped through the fence and came running through the campground, chomping on our grass. But that's not so much the problem. They poop. They make big poops. Where are you going? Crazy old cow. She got nervous. She was running all through the campground. Finally, after a long chase, I got her cornered over in by the field and opened up the gate, and she went back to her home. Yahoo! Last week, I gave you a sneak preview of our new camper, and everybody was asking me, when you going to show the whole thing? Give us a tour. Give us a review of the whole thing. We are still organizing the new camper, so that video is coming soon. Now, you know, Jill is a little OCD. So much so, she has a book on how we organizing the camper. Jill's organized. I love that woman. She's a good organizer. So I can't show off the camper until she gets that camper organized. But I promise you, it's coming soon. Well, that's our story for the week. I hope you enjoyed this story. If you did, click like down below and smash that subscribe button if you'd like to hear more stories like this one. New stories every week on Wednesday, right here on this YouTube channel. And ring that bell. If you ring the bell, you'll get a notification every time I post a new story. You don't want to miss one. Until later, thanks for your time. Bye.